Ooh, we are live. Welcome, welcome. Good evening. Good evening. This is actually my first live class, my first YouTube live. So I'm learning all the way. I'm learning all the way. Okay, so I want to go on Instagram. Wow, two different platforms. Welcome. Yes, good evening. Good evening. How are you doing? How is your weekend? How is your Sunday? How are you doing? Good evening and thank you so much for joining. Okay, thank you so much. So this is my first YouTube live. This is actually my first YouTube live. So and I want you guys to know I'm learning in this particular YouTube live, but I felt doing this on YouTube will be better so I can keep it there. People can always come and watch and watch and watch. So, good evening. Where are you guys joining me from? Can I know? Okay, hello, say something. Okay. Good evening, everyone. Good evening. Can you guys hear me clear? Can you hear me loud and clear so that I can just go ahead and start? Good evening. Can you guys hear me? Can you hear me? I'm actually going to leave this replay on YouTube. YouTube. I'm going to leave it on YouTube, but I'm also live on Instagram. Can you guys hear me? Okay, yes. Ibukun Pokuola, thank you. Good evening. Good evening. Cake Place by Delight. Thank you so much. So this is a very burning topic in my heart, and I have decided that I'm going to share and not be biased in my actually dishing out this um, knowledge or teaching. Number one, I'm not a pastor and I don't own a church, but I'm a believer and I believe so much in God, and I love God so much because God has actually done a lot in my life. So now one thing I want us to understand is I will first of all start by sharing my own story. Oh, good evening. Good evening, Instagram. Good evening, YouTubers. Good evening. Good evening. Thank you. Thank you. So first thing I want us to do is, before we start, try as much as possible to share the link to at least 5 people on your contact, people that you know they are tither or they've been confused about tithing. Because I've always gotten so much message in my DM. Oh, how do I tithe right? What can I do? I just believe I'm not doing something right. And these are not people that don't want to pay. I know we have people that are arguing, is it right? Is it wrong? The essence of this class today is not really to tell you whether it is wrong or right. Is to just put light where you might be confused. I will share a lot from experience. If you are confused in any area, I'll be able to help you with that. So the first thing I want us to understand is, for me, tithing is not wrong. It is not. It is not. So, but the only thing I realize that mistakes that a lot of people make is that they don't tithe the right way. There are a lot of people that don't tithe the right way. And I give you, because I like to teach in a practical way. If I give you my um practical review this evening, you will see what I am saying. We need to understand that we need to understand how to tithe effectively as corporate bodies or as business owners or as business. So for me, I tithe as a business and I also tithe personally. So that's how I do it. But you must understand the concept of tithing right. If not, you can kill your business yourself just by trying to tithe, because you don't understand how it goes. You don't understand the way it ought to work. So let me share my story before I start. So I was actually brought up in a very poor home. That's about years back, and my first job was actually, I work as a computer operator, and I was being paid 3,000 then. And I remember I've already known about God. I've understood what tithing was. Nobody persuaded me. I had the conviction that, oh, I will do this thing. I will pay tithe. I will key into it. Number one, because I love God. Number two, because, oh, since it's one of the principles of the kingdom, then I want to adopt it. So I got my first salary as 3,000 years back. I paid my 300 naira tithe. And I want to let you know that my life never remained the level of the kind of the salary I was earning. I was able to single-handedly send myself to higher institution without cutting corners, not meeting men or cutting no, I don't have the record of that, but I did it. And I know I did not do it on my own. I know that God actually got my back. So I started tithing at the age of 19. And from there, I went to school. I started my business. Fast forward, I started my business. My business was doing well. I pay tithe in millions. There's nothing to argue about it. Tithing is not wrong to me. And one thing I also want to say at this point is that for a lot of people that have issue with tithing, this particular video is for those that want to know how to tithe right. It's not about, I'm not here to argue with anybody in that sense. And for you to actually tithe, there are two ways in which we make money on earth. We have the kingdom way and we have the covenant way. The covenant way is you doing legal business, is you doing legitimate business, is you doing business that your business is not hurting humanity, your business does not have any negativity. But the Babylon way is you doing everything illegal, doing everything to even hurt humanity. So there are two ways in which the two the two systems are different. So if God is your source, like for me, God is my source, you need to tithe. Because everyone you see, even the ones complaining, talking, everybody must have an altar that is speaking for them. If you are a child of God, you are a child of covenant, then which altar will be speaking for you when you are not there? And I'm not saying it's until you pay the tithe that no, God has loved us or God has loved us unconditionally. But there are principles we must not break. Even though God loves us, you cannot break the principle of gravity. There are principles that are there that we must adhere to see his promises in full in our lives. So, and a lot of people, I don't want to even go into people arguing and all that, but I will share first. One thing I understand about tithing is that, yes, tithing does not make you rich, and get it clearly. Tithing does not make you rich, but it promises to open your heavens so you can enjoy abundance and protection from every protection from every form of loss in this world. And one thing I also want you to understand is that it is not enough to tithe once, twice. It is about consistency. Tithing is about consistency, it's about continuous, it's about that process. You continue to do that routine. It's just like when you see these guys that maybe the guys in occult, or they are in any of this kingdom, you see things like rituals. They keep doing it. So, but for this is a continuous thing. It is continuous. You can't do it once and say, oh, I've done it last week, I'm not doing it again. No, it is not like that. And that is one of the reasons why a lot of people are not seeing results, or they are complaining, I've been doing this thing, but it's not working. Are you tithing the right way? I'm going to be giving you tips at the end of this class on what you need to do exactly to actually tithe the right way. And I also want us to be clear, get this clear. Tithing alone will not make you rich. Just tithing and not doing anything will not make you rich. But a combination of consistent tithing, discipline, diligence, application of other covenant principles will set you on the way to financially being empowered. I remember when I started my telecom business 17 years ago. My business is 17 years this year. I started that business with 600,000, and I was consistent with my tithing. I understand numbers, so I do my calculations right, and I go ahead. The first time I will go out for I would go out for my business. I was just doing my thing. I saw that my business was doing well. I was moving. I was seeing results. It was growing. One day I went to pick stock somewhere, and I realized a lot of people were sitting down there actually requesting for credit facility. I never asked for credit facility. I was sitting on my own. They came to me and said, Nancy, we want to give you credit facility of 20 million and you pay in 3 days. I was like, okay. I took it. I took it away. I sold those products in less than 2 days. I paid. I now became the only one, almost the only one, taking all the stocks. And these people they did not even know my house. I have gotten favor, because this is one of the things that tithing does. I have gotten favor beyond my wildest imagination. People give me product that is worth 100 million without knowing my home. They don't know my house. And they will say, oh, take it, pay in 7 days, and I will truly go ahead and do what I'm supposed to do and pay. People send me products from other states without knowing my home, not in small money, millions of naira. So I understand what favor is. And for any business owner here, there is one thing with you having fund that you are not even paying interest on. No interest, nothing. I remember somebody walking up to me in my estate. I'm still talking about my early days. I'm not even started talking about recently. I remember my mentor will always say, you'll be sharing things and you forget to even share the current one. I just want to share so that people understand where I'm coming from. I'm not talking about stories. I'm saying real life things. Years back, somebody saw me. I was just very diligent in my business, putting in all my best, doing my thing. And the truth is, people are watching you, whether you know it or not. So the person came and walked up to me to say, I want to see your husband, like, because I'm married and he feels that I can't just give you fund. I cannot just borrow you money. I want to see your husband. I'm like, okay. My husband came with son. I said, I have this money. I've been saving it. I actually use it for my students' school fees. But I see your wife always hustling, running about. I want to give her this money, and she will sign some document for me. You will give me when I need it. Without interest, without anything. My people, this tithing thing is not a joke. I've been doing it since. And because I am in an industry that is so risky, if you understand telecom industry, it is very volatile, very risky. I have run that business for 7 years, and I can tell you that I don't have a scratch. And let me tell you one important part. The fact that I teach structure, in my early days that I wouldn't have maybe employees stealing my money, I always get my money back. It is like magic, but it happen. Even the DPO in the police station in my estate will say, madam, this your God. I don't understand though. I always get my money back. And you know, in this country, if you have lost something, to recover it back is not easy. But my case is always different. And I'm not saying something that cannot be verified. Let me talk like Peter Obi. You can verify them. So those are the things I'm saying. God is too faithful to fail. He keeps to his promises. He keeps to his word. It is left for us as children of God to do our part. Our part is important. So as we move on, you can also, but one thing I want to say before I start teaching you some of the clear things you need to know on how to pay your tithe right, before you can start using this, you can adopt this system to pay your tithe. I want to appeal to you. It is important that you separate yourself from your business, because the reason is that if you don't separate yourself from your business, some of you will claim you don't have tithes because you are putting all your personal expenses on the business. You will claim you don't have tithe. You say, and when I remove everything, I realize there's no money. That is why I don't have tithe. And that is why I have been holding on teaching this for a long time, because of this. Because many businesses are not structured. So the CEO still goes into the business, take money, buy things, buy car, buy whatever he wants to buy, because you have not separated yourself from your business. You must understand, for this to truly work, because you need to be sincere to God, you need to be sincere to yourself, you need to be sincere to your business, you need to actually separate yourself from your business. And how do you separate yourself from your business? You must first of all pay yourself and understand the ability to stick to it. So if you are watching me from YouTube or you're on Instagram, you can go to my Instagram page to get my free ebook, which is called Pay Yourself Guide. It will help you to ascertain how much you should pay yourself, so that you don't start eating into the business resources and say, oh, I don't have tithe. This purpose of teaching you here is not to make you not to pay tithe. No, it's to help you pay the right way and not go bankrupt. That's the essence. And I want you to also understand that separating yourself from your business as a CEO is very important. If not, you might have reasons why you are not paying tithe. And the truth is, it's not going to affect me, it's going to affect you. The truth is, do the needful and you will see the result. As we move on, spend your a lot of people spend their business resources on themselves. I've talked about that. You cannot cheat God. You cannot cheat God. And the reason you cannot cheat God is God is God is Omega. God is everywhere. And the Bible says God said in Bible in Malachi that we are robbing him. And you say, where have we robbed? You say, in your tithe and offering. Yet people will argue. What are we arguing about? What are we arguing about? The Bible is clear. Everybody want to become elder brother of Jesus Christ. Everybody's explaining stuff. Just get it. Even in your heart, you know what works. Even I've been tithing since 19 and I'm 42 already. I'm going to 43 and I've been consistent and I've seen my life transform. I know where I used to be. I used to be that girl, that poor girl that we were 13 in a room. But today, God has turned my life around. And I cannot say, I'm not too old to say, oh, it took a while. It was a gradual process from working here, going here. Things will just be falling in place for you. I remember a day, a particular vendor sent me product, more than 100 million. I did not pay a dime. Whereas somebody in the same industry is struggling. He sat down at their office begging for the whole day. Oh, please, can you just give me stock of 5 million? I'll pay tomorrow. They'll say, no, we don't have. There's no access to that. Whereas somebody else that is God's child, that is dedicated to the kingdom, sitting down, not even asking anybody for anything. They come, they say, Madam Nancy, we want to give you this goods. Oh, take it and pay in 7 days. And somebody else is begging. I am talking about my business, telecom business in Nigeria, not story. So when people talk, they will be talking, say different things. And I've realized that you must work with your inner mind. There is Holy Spirit in you if you're a Christian, and let your conviction come from there. Don't let anybody talk you out of, oh, then I remember I met one of my clients, one of my students, and I met her like 3 years ago before COVID, I guess. So is it 4 years? And she said, Coach Nancy, when the whole tithe issue came online, I actually fell apart. I stopped paying tithes. Everything went down. Thank you. Everything went down for me. I cried back to God and I reconciled. I started praying and things started coming back normal. She said, if I catch anywhere they are discussing, I want to come and talk. I want to share my story. I suffered for like 3 years. See, it's not a country. It's not a function of, oh, you want to work. I'm not a pastor. If you pay tithe anywhere in your church, I don't know your church. I don't know anything. But I'm telling you what works. What have taken me from nothing to something. And I remember 6 years ago, clearly, God told me, Nancy, go and teach people business. Go and show them how I took you from nothing to something. I am somebody that God took from nothing to something. So so I don't know you. I'm not in your church. I don't know where you worship from. But I'm just sharing what has worked. It has worked. And I pray that God will give you the grace to actually get, and God will speak to you by himself. God will speak to you by himself. And also, like I said, before I start to share this 5 or 6 tips I'm going to share with you on how to actually tithe the right way, please ensure you have solid financial structure. Ensure you have structure in place where the business and the business owner is not one. You've been able to separate yourself from your business so that you can truly pay yourself what you are worth. There is a way to calculate your salary and pay yourself what you are really worth, and stop dipping your hand in your business fund. We've been there. I remember years back, I used to dip my hand in my business fund. After trying, I realized that I would still go back. But today, I thank God I'm better. And that's why I can teach people how to go about it. And one thing I'm going to share in this tithing, right? The truth is, I've seen a lot of posts that you are not supposed to tithe in your business. Everybody has their own belief. Everybody has their own perspective. Whatever you believe is your personal issue. The truth is, corporate tithing, it is good to do corporate tithing, but you must do it the right way. You must not tithe yourself into going bankruptcy. And that is why I am teaching this class. So the first point in tithing right is understanding how to calculate your corporate tithe right. Understanding how to calculate. And I have 2 examples of 2 people that have the same capital. They both have 5 million as their capital. And now, so let's take through the first case study. And the first case study is, this particular person has 5 million naira capital and does turnover or sales or income depending on the business. I try to carry on the 3 business. Maybe you are service-based business, or you are product-based business, whatever business you are into, production, turnover or sales or income, or in a month is actually 6 million naira. Now, the person has turnover of 6 million naira. A lot of people are victim of, once the income comes in, they, at the end of the month, they calculate tithe from this 6 million, which is 600,000, and pay it. No. And why I said no is the fact that and I said it earlier, that you must try as much as possible that you are structured your business so that you don't even steal from God. You don't rob God in that sense. Now, if you have your income or your sales or your turnover at 6 million, and you just go ahead from the 6 million and pay tithe of 600,000, you have not done the right thing. You are supposed to do your complete P&L to be sure of where you are before you start saying, I want to pay tithe. I'm talking about corporate tithe in that sense. Now, let's move to the second item here, which is cost of production or cost of purchase. We realize that for this first business, cost of production or cost of purchase is actually 5 million naira. So if we subtract 5 million naira from 6 million, we have 1 million naira left. So we are assuming the tithe has not been taken. Now, you go to operational/admin cost. Everything, salary of the MD, everything is supposed to be there. We now realize that what we use that month for this is actually 1.5 million. Now that we have used 1.5 million, and after our sales, removing our cost of production slash cost of purchase, we have 1 million. So you realize that we are in negative of 500,000. If we are in negative of 500,000 and you have paid 600,000 naira as tithe, at the end of the day, you are going to be having final loss of 1.1. Final loss of 1.1. Is anybody getting this stuff? I don't know how to share on YouTube. I would have shared my slide here. I don't know how to share on YouTube. So this is it. So you get final loss of, so I want you to get it right. So you have a business, you've done turnover, sales or income of 6 million in the month of January. So now your cost of production or your cost of purchase is 5 million. Minus it, you have 1 million naira left, then you checked your operational cost slash admin cost, your total overhead from your business, you realize that it's 1.5. So we minus 1.5 from 1 million, we realize we are in negative of 500. That means you did not even break even. You have ran into loss. But now, if you have paid the 600,000 already, that means you are going to be in loss of 1.1 million. 1.1 million. No, let's go back now. If you have run that business for 6 months in that same trajectory, you have run it for 6 months, that means 1.1 times 6, that means you have loss of 6.6 million. Please share it to your loved ones, tag people to come and join, let them come and learn. This is free lesson that can turn your life around. From next month you start seeing good result, and you can pay better tithe. When you grow, you will pay. It's not for you not to pay, it's for you to pay the right way. Let me see you tag people to join, tag your friends, tag your loved ones, call people, share the link to people on YouTube. Share the link to people to come and learn. Because a lot of people say, oh, I've been in church for 4 years, I even have been tithing, my life did not change, I'm still suffering. No, the responsibility of financial management and financial literacy does not lie in God's hand, it lies with you. You have to learn how to manage your resources. Jesus or God will not come and learn it for you. You have to sit down, understand figures, go through the Bible. Every part of the Bible, you will constantly see financial management principle being deployed. Don't spend above your income, don't spend more than you earn, always have something left back, always have something remaining. So when people come and say, oh, my business is not doing, I'm like, oh, your business can do it because I have done it, and I've helped people I have helped people to revive their business, because it's possible. So now, thank you so much. So now, tag people, tag your friends, don't let them make mistake. Let's change the narrative for ourselves, let's change the narrative for other business owner. Now we have 6.6 million naira loss. Now if you minus 5 million capital that you have, you will be owing 1.6, and your capital is gone. You will not start saying, oh, Satan is after me, village people are after me. No, nobody is after you. You have not taken responsibility. What God has actually said in the word, that we should be I made a post and I talked about it. God even said we should get counsel. Get counsel in area you don't know. Don't be acting like you know. Get counsel. And don't forget, when you are getting counsel for things like this, ensure the person is godly. No, but I'm not saying don't pay tithe, but I'm saying you have to, because if I teach you this, we will have a lot of light growing into billionaires. We will have a lot of light. We will be many. And if we are much on top, we can speak. But if everybody is going down, how do we even bring people to the kingdom? How do we get people to come to God? But now, if we are many, we can speak and we can say, look at our result. And that's why when I post, I tell people that, hello, if you like, come at Zuckerberg has not tithed before. It's his personal problem. I have been tithing from 19 till now, and I am doing very well, and I have my result, and you can't tell me anything. Somebody may come and I'm saying, well, hello, can you show me your own record? You only want to use somebody else. You're talking about Mark Zuckerberg. Is Mark Zuckerberg you? Is Facebook, is it you? Are you the person? I'm talking about myself, my own story. So it makes it easy for people to say, okay, because I'll tell you, if you don't have the result, then you should not speak to me. Stay aside. You don't understand what I'm saying. And nobody is saying do something that is wrong, but do it the right way. So that's the first case study of the first business owner that decided to pay tithes directly from income. In 1 year, in short, you will be in debt of 8.2 million. 8.2 you will be owing. If you like, collect bank loan, you will owe them. Jesus will be God in heaven. Jesus did not do anything because he is Lord forever and evermore. He is ever faithful. You have to learn. You have to know what to do. You have to have financial intelligence. You have to have financial management, and you are also to have faith with it, but not in ignorance. Even the Bible says, "With that, my people perish for lack of knowledge." If you don't know, seek for help. Please, let's tag people. Let's tag people to come and Learn these things I'm teaching. And so from there, let's go to the second case study. The second case study is a case study of the same person, another person that has 5 million naira too. Now, this person has 5 million, but his or her turnover is 10 million. Now, the cost of production or cost of purchase is 5 million. You subtract it, you have 5 million left. Now, after 5 million, operational / admin cost is also 1.5. Now, if you subtract 1.5 from 5 million, you have 3.5 left. In this 3.5 million, which is either going to be net loss or net profit, but it's now profit 3.5. You now say, okay, minus 10% tax, which is 350. We now have final net profit to be 3,150,000. Now, this person in 6 months, can you see the difference? In 6 months, this person will be worth 23.9 million naira. Why the other person will be in debt? He will be in debt. Don't say, oh, the devil is after me, all my family, they hate. No. Ignorance is deadly. Ignorance is deadly. And the people that don't know, hey, when you don't know, you think you know, it's problem. That one is totally problem. But when you don't know and you seek knowledge, you can come out. I have a student, I remember when I made my post, she said, coach, she met me June 2021 without no money. She was not even a tither. Tithe was not an issue, but she didn't have money. And I said, my cost for that I want to do structure was 80K at that time. And she said, I don't have the money. I said, go and look for money. When I made this post, she said, coach, I tithe now. She has bought a building. Lack of knowledge can take you. You'll be backward and you'll be thinking, Jesus is Lord, ever faithful. My heart goes out to sincere Christians, genuine Christians that want to tithe, but they are missing it. And my heart goes out to you. Because the truth is, you can have it all. You can be a better person. You can be rich with that business. Business is a tool that God has given us to actually transform our life. So if your life is not transformed with your business, there is something missing. There is a missing link. And that missing link, you need to get it. You need to get it right. So that's how the case study of A went into debt after 6 months, went into debt, lost every capital, lost everything, went into debt. And the case study B that did it the right way went into abundance. The person that had 2.9 and 23.9 in 6 months. So this person will be paying more tithe now. You'll be making more money and be paying more tithe. And the church will grow. And more people will want to come to Christ and say, oh, I know Sister Nancy. Oh, Sister Nancy is a Christian and she's doing well and she can foot all her bills. Oh, let me even see the God she's talking about. Then more people can come. But the other person cannot bring people to Christ. People will be saying, I don't understand. Which kind of God are you? We don't want that anymore. We are light of the world. We are the salt of the earth. And we should be example. And the only way we can be examples is when we learn. When we learn. When we implement. Wherever you are confused, ask questions. Don't stay there. I'm telling you, it's painful to me because many Christians are not getting it right. The truth is, a lot of people, I've seen people post on Instagram and say, oh, as a business, you're not supposed to tithe. Totally no. Because Abraham tithe and it was corporate tithing. So you want to be, I celebrate us a lot as Christians, but I say things like, as a Christian, let's go to Matthew 3:33, which says, seek ye first the kingdom of God and his righteousness, and everything shall be added unto you. There is promise there is principle. The principle is you should seek the kingdom of God and his righteousness. Now, you have not seek the kingdom of God. You have not seen his righteousness, so you are now expecting the blessing. If Abraham did not sacrifice his son, he should sit down and be, that's what we do. And Jesus, you cannot pass your responsibility to God. There is a part that you have to play for this glory, for this result to be evident in your life. And I'm saying it with all sincerity. I know where I'm coming from, and I know where I am, and I know where I'm going to, because I've not gotten to my destination. But I realize that if most Christians, if we can collaborate as Christians, and we all are full force wealth, we have wealth that is sustainable, we can shake the world together. I can say, oh, that's my sister. And all this backlash on Christ, backlash on God, we reduce. all this backlash will reduce. Because if somebody is saying, no, you've been tithing for years, what have you achieved? You will say, it's true, I've not really achieved anything. No. Because the people that have result and the ones that don't have result, there are so many. Those that don't have result are too much. And the reason is because there is ignorance in it. There is that gap of knowledge that they don't know. So that's number one, understanding how to calculate your tithe the right way as corporate tithe. And I want to quickly make some quick comment at this point that if you are a salary earner, you have to pay your tithe from your income, because it is actually your income. Pay your tithe from your income, then you can start spending. But if you're a business comes with cost. And if you're a business that don't have structure, please pay from your sales, and you'll be doing it the way you are doing it rather than not to pay. But the right way to pay is structure your business, separate yourself from your business, get yourself salary, so that you are detached from your business. You are not bringing in unnecessary expenses from your business. And when you have it like that, I tell you, you pay your tithe from your net profit. From your net profit, not gross, net. So that's that. Then number two, in tithing right, number 2 point is calculation. Am I? So please tag your friends, so tag them so that they don't make mistakes. Number 2 is actually, thank you. What about my salary from business? Yes, you will tithe from your salary from business. That is you. So you've earned salary from business, tithe on it. So I do tithing as Nancy, and I also tithe as corporate. And some people will say, oh, how do you post it in the books? Please stop all those statements, because you have been mismanaging your resources. You have been posting it the way you are posting it. So find a way to post it. On my book, God is actually a partner. And no government can tell me that God cannot be my partner. Pay your tithe from net profit, not gross. Thank you. God is a partner. And I don't put it God. I call it partner G. So ask me, the partner is somewhere. It can be in UK, anywhere. And I give him this particular amount. They will not beat me. If the partner is a particular person, would they say I should not pay the partner? So we must be wise, because the kingdom of darkness is bent on not allowing a lot of people grow. But we must do it right so that we have a sustainable business, and we, the light, take over the earth. We take over the earth for real. So don't let anybody bamboozle you. I want accountant tell you, how do you put it in your book? You have a partner, and the name of the partner is partner G. His name is partner G. So every month, if you make profit, you give the partner net 10% of your net profit. All the partners you've been paying, who have they gone? How many people have they asked? Then when it now comes to God's things, you now start hearing them saying, oh, you can't put it, the tithe should not come. All those things are just, I don't even know what to tell them. Yes, God is our partner. He's the first partner in that business. So nobody should tell you that. So you can pay it, post it right, get the right accounting software. Reach out to us. Let's help you structure your business well and stop suffering. There is money in this country. There is money. Money is in this country. Don't be saying, oh, there's no money. There's money, because we are different. And if you follow the principles of the kingdom and you understand financial management and you do it right, I tell you, God, people say, God will, let me tell you, you cannot be breaking principle and expect things to be normal. It's not, it does not work like that. So number 2 is pay your tithe to the right place. Pay your tithe to the right place. In the Bible, okay. In the Bible, I have it here. So Malachi 3:10a says, bring ye all the tithe into the storehouse. And the storehouse is your church, where they are nourishing you spiritually. Your own church. Bring in all your tithe into the storehouse. Where is the storehouse? Your church. So don't let anybody bamboozle you and say, oh, the storehouse is the less privileged. It's not the less privileged. There is another Bible verse for less privileged. Help the less privileged. Anybody that help the less privileged, God will save you in the time of need, or God will. That is totally different from what we are saying. Tithing is for the house. God said it clearly. Let me read it. In Malachi 3:10a, he said, bring ye all the tithe into the storehouse, that there may be meat in my house. There may be meat in my house. So there is nothing like you are trying to. I tell people, I've paid tithe in millions, and to be sincere, I don't really care about who is administering the money or who is holding the money, because the truth is I have done my part. I've done my part. And like my pastor will always say in my church, that if you don't like your pastor, you can change your church and go and pay your and be attending the church. But don't be attending a church and say this is your church, and you're not going to pay your tithe in one small church or in one church that you feel that is your father that owns it. That is corruption. We have to change. That is corruption. Where it ought to be is where you should send it to. Pay it to the right place. There is something called the right place, and it matters that you drop it there. So that's number two. Number two, pay it to the right place. I said paying your tithe to the right place. Number three is being consistent with your tithe. A lot of people pay tithe today. Next month, they don't pay. I'm not saying if you don't make profit, pay. But every income that comes to you, you are the Malachi 3 said, bring in, because he's speaking, bring in all the tithes. Bring ye all the tithes. All. It didn't say some. Consistency is what I realize that a lot of people lack. I'm not here to brag about myself like, oh, Nancy, you are genius. No. And that's why I can teach from experience. I've been tithing since 19, and I can tell you that it's not that tithing is so easy. But when you start to do it, it will become part of you. It become part of me. I've been since 19 till now. I have been consistent. So when people are worrying about things, I don't get worried, and I get it. It's not that I'm joking. I am not going to worry about it because I have done my part. I have done my part based on what God has told me concerning that business. So what am I saying? Consistency is key. And I realized I was having conversation with one of my niece. I actually sent her Christmas. I sent everybody cash for Christmas. So I was sending, and she called me back to say, she was saying something. I was trying to organize. I said, do you tithe? She said, yes. I said, I don't know what came over me. And that's what brought about it. I just said, let me even ask her, how do you tithe? She said, I tithe on my salary. And I said, okay. So as I sent you 50K, you won't tithe on it. She said, no, auntie, that's a gift. I said, oh, you are not getting it right. Your income is all the incomes that comes to you. So if you get bonus at work, you will tithe on it. If you collect salary, you will tithe on it. If consistency in all your income is your tithing. Every month you make profit, you tithe. Not that you tithe January, February, you did not tithe, you tithe October. No, you must tithe on all the incomes. It becomes a system. You create a system around it. So you are not even thinking about it again. So when the income comes, I know, temp is going out. So it becomes a way of life. And with that, it becomes easy. It's not easy. But the truth is, one of the things that tithe does for you is that it helps you conquer greed. It helps you conquer money. That money that, everybody is chasing money like, they want to take money as God. No, you conquer greed, you conquer money. People are talking. I have clients that have so much money and they can open up to say, coach, this is what I'm earning. And they are not afraid. Not that you now tell a coach that this is what you are earning. The coach is begging you. You can conquer money. Then you see things that are not right. You decide, no, I can't do this. You speak like Joseph. I can't do this to God. Just like we want to vote, and people say they are Christian, yes, they will vote for somebody that their values is totally contradicting to Christianity. We have to change. We have to. So that's it. So number four point is you must continue to water the altar. The devil is not joking. And if you know, in the social media age, the devil is not joking. Things are happening. Hi, I will see things happening. I'm like, God, what is this? What kind of things are happening? So I remember I was listening to one of these pastors preaching on social media, and she said, people will say don't tithe. They will tell you not to tithe, but they all have altars. They have babalawo that they give money to. Help me pray, or help me do this. You don't have anything. You don't have anything. You are still following them. Let that be what you even have on that table of Christ, that, God, I do this. They have altars. So let that be what is even helping you sustain your own altar. Because the truth is, everybody have altar. People claim like, when you come on social media, everybody is claiming everybody is claiming to be, everybody is trying to form one thing. But at the end of the day, A lot of people have altars that they worship. They have things they worship. Did they tell you? They will just come out and say, XYZ is not tithing. Did you follow the person to his house? Do you know how much he has given to a particular occult people? Do you know how much he has given to a particular a certain group of cults or a certain group? You don't know. You now go and waste your life and just be too vulnerable for people to attack you. Please be wise. In this end time, let's open up our eyes. Nobody, I don't need any. I'm not a pastor, so you cannot give me your tithe. But I'm telling you what works. In short, I'm going to talk now. Let me tell you what works. So I started telecom business years back, and I was doing so well. People began to envy me. I was getting physical, spiritual attack. But let me tell you, I am still standing, gidigba, nothing. There's too much battle out there for you to be saying 10% is what you want to hold. The sickness that will come from not paying, we have not gotten to the viral stage. So you don't need it. Do your part. And I tell people, if you say, I don't want to tithe because, do it consistently for 2 years. And tell me your life before the 2 years. I'm telling you what has worked for me. I'm telling you what works. Do it consistently. I tell you, our God is too faithful to fail. Our God is a miracle worker. He is always on the throne. I just decided not to share. Negative spirit, okay, because we're all online, everybody's claiming, I'm corporate, so you think people don't have negative things under their suits, or they don't have things they tie within their waist. So you will now just go and enter a particular, somebody is coming to do presentation. He has gone to cook himself up in a particular altar, paid a certain amount of money. The only thing they request for you is say, be faithful in the house of the Lord and pay your tithe, and you say no. And you now want to go and contest. You want to go and contest with demonic people. Later, you just say somebody say the person slumped and died. Please, I have experienced death more than twice. And these are spiritual attack in my bed, not once, not twice. But I know that the last one, when what was that? I was just feeling chivish, and I said, before I knew it, my husband needs to take me to the hospital. When I got to the hospital, I passed out. I passed out totally. When I passed out, I just saw an angel come and said, Nancy, it's not your time. Don't mind them. Go back. I can't share with you. There's so much that happens in the spiritual realm. Don't leave yourself to what people are saying. Partner with God. God is the source. Let God be your source. And the truth is, if God is not your source, don't try. There's no problem. Keep going from one prophet to another. Keep going from one babalawo to another. You will get tired because that's the norm. But you can decide to say, I want to follow you, God, wholeheartedly. And I tell you, it works. It works. It works. And for so many of us, I want to encourage business owners, because a lot of us, we came from different backgrounds. I remember when I started my business, or when I was growing, is it that you are going to pray in one place, or somebody is saying, your mom is saying, why not visit there? You keep paying, you pay 20, you pay one thing. Instead of you to sit down, focus in one place and give your tithe to God, you'll be going from one place to another, and yet the result is not there. Yet you are still stressed. I can remember vividly, it did not work. Do what works. Focus on God. Focus on God. And just do that your needful. Do the needful. Read your Bible. When you are reading your Bible, you will see principles. You will see promises. Don't take promises and throw away principle. Hold on to the principle so that the promises can be realistic, can be visible in your life. And I remember vividly, I had stories, not one, not two. I remember one day I was actually praying. I'm unapologetic. I'm looking for you. I'm unapologetic about tithing as a Christian or corporate. I'm unapologetic about it. It's not something I started today. It's something that I've been doing since 17 years ago. Today I started my 17. A 17-year-old child you soon marry. So it's not a thing of story. So, and I want you to understand for days, and after a while, there's this particular in-law of mine. The person is very, very wealthy. So I was expecting the person would give me money at that time to support my business. He never did. But God brought some of these things. I said, just come. I like the way you are there. I want to give you money. I want to take. Angel funding was everywhere for me. I was very lucky. I was favored. It's not luck. I was favored. So This particular period, I was robbed. I went somewhere and they robbed us and everything was gone. That person that has been stubborn, that said, "Oh, I don't have money," give me the whole money. Never knew the amount. Tithing works, so God is faithful. Give me the amount in cash. Yes, back. Gave me like this. I was shocked. I was like, God, is this you? So what are we saying? Do your part. Stop following the crowd. Sit in your room, sit in your study, read the word, pick the principles, apply it to your life. Watch it. You don't just do it one day and say, I've tried today now. We do a lot of things that is more than 10%. We buy air, we buy cars, we waste our fund, but yet only that 10% us to do. And that is why I'm encouraged that I drop, you must have that calculation in mind. So if you are watching me on Instagram, I'm not going to drop my replay there. You will go back to my YouTube and watch the replay. So now let's move to number 4. Number 4 point is you must, okay, I've talked about that. You must continue to water the altar, consistently paying your tithe, constantly do your part, give God. I'm not even talking about, and see, when it comes to giving, there are some giving that are priority. And I have to say it, irrespective of how some people might feel. Now, some of you will go to a church and promise and vow, maybe you vow 100,000. Instead of paying your tithe, you will now use your tithe to pay the vow. Who asks you to vow? Who asks you to sow seed if you know you don't have money? Tithe is not a seed. It is not your vow. It is a total different stuff. So instead of you giving vow or just focus on paying your tithe first. Then if you can do other ones, then you start to do it. So now people will say, oh, okay, my tithe, I will use it, I will send it to that pastor. No, your tithe is not for that pastor. You visited the pastor, send him your own money. Send him money separately. Still pay your tithe to the right place. Very important. Then, number 5 is every income has a seed and a fruit. If you eat your seed, the seed is the poisonous part, and you know you are not supposed to eat your seed. If you are eating your tithe, you are eating your seed, because it's your seed that will continue to bring, you are releasing more blessings to you. So I want us to understand that point is, number 6 is actually, it helps you against devourer. Devourer sometimes look like normal happening. Oh, I was robbed. I was on my way. Oh, they just eat me. It will look normal, but all those little things, before you know, you have spent 2 million. 2 million that you will have honorably, maybe what you are supposed to pay as tithe was even 1 million, that you have done honorably. No. Before you know, a child is admitted. Before you know, it looks like, oh, this thing is normal, but at the end of the day, they are not. They are not. Problems everywhere. Problems. I remember one of my branch was burgled twice. When they burgled those branches, the people that came, they actually used their equipment to cut themselves by, and there was plea of, but they ran away. They injured themselves. They didn't take anything. So you must understand that you need God's protection. I'm not saying tithe is almighty, but there are principles that we have in Matthew. There are promises that God has given us for a consistent tither. So I hope I've been able to share, because it's 1 hour already. I hope I've been able to share with you. So please don't play with what I've taught you. God Almighty will help you. And I will wrap up with saying, a lot of folks like, oh, let me visit this church. It's not bad. But when you visit, don't carry your tithe and say your tithe you want to give. Because you just zero your mind like, oh, I will share my tithe among you. No, your tithe is for the storehouse. And you know your own storehouse. That place that you are being nourished spiritually, go and pay it there. So let me just reiterate for those just joining us. Let me reiterate. I said, number 1, to tithing right, I said I recommend corporate tithing. Corporate tithing is good. No matter what people say, it's their own. Corporate tithing is very, very good, and it's biblical. If you go to Abraham paid the tithe of his corporation. Is not individual tithe. So I recommend corporate tithing and individual tithing. And if you are tithing as an employee, when you earn your salary, whatever you get any income, let that be the covenant you have with God. Pay your 10% to the house that is nourishing you. That's number 1. That's by the way. Number one is understand for business owner. That's the reason why we are in this class. Understand how to calculate your tithe as a corporate. And I've explained it in details. You saw one person went into debt just by tithing the wrong way, and the other person was tithing and it still grew normally. So you need to understand that. That's number one. So number two is pay your tithe to the right place. Pay your tithe to the right place. Number three, be consistent with your tithing. You don't pay tithe one off. You are consistent with tithing. You pay your tithe this month, you have another income in between. After, you keep paying. You can never stop paying it. You should. There's nothing like, oh, I'm you have to just pay. That's what God says. Let's follow his word. So that's that. Then number four, you must continue to water that altar. It's still the same thing. Keep paying it. Any money that comes in, you pay. You pay. Everybody has their altar, so that whenever you are calling on the altar of God, say, your name will be in the register. Then we move to the last one. Every income has a seed, and the seed is the poisonous part. Majority of people keep eating their seed, yet they want a future. When you eat the seed you are supposed to plant, how do you expect a future in that? So when you plant your seed, then you will have a fruit another day. You will have more future. You have another fruit for the next time. So for every fruit that comes, there must be a seed part that you are going to pay, which represents your tithe. Which represents your tithe. And that's that. So let me encourage everyone, never stop tithing. Tithing is good, but if you don't have income, you don't pay tithe out of compulsion, like, oh, I'm supposed to tithe. That's not how it is done. It is based on income. You make money, you pay it. So you did not make money, you are owing nobody. But if somebody gives you more, income is income, whether it's the one you made by yourself, whether it's the one that they gave you, is income. You tithe from it. I'm not saying the one they told you to use to buy things for the house, no, or to cook. But income that is your own, you must tithe on it. Then, as a lot of people many people are robbing God, and I want to pray and encourage all of us this evening that if you have not been tithing, please do it the right way. If you're an employee, tithe from your income. If you're a business owner, tithe from your net profit. Tithe from your net profit. So Malachi 3:8 have said it. Let's stop robbing God. Let's stop robbing God. God says, will a man rob God? Yet you have robbed me. But ye say, where have I robbed you? And he said, it's in tithe and offering. So let's not let anything. When we read, you say another verse said, another verse. When you are trying to look for verse to complement another verse, we should all stop that. Read something and understand it and do the right thing. So that's that. Then what are the benefits of tithing? I will end from there. Number one, open heaven. I've talked about favor a lot. Favor beyond your widest imagination. Favor. You will see things will come. I didn't ask for it. Now they'll say, no, it's you they want to give. Favor. Then you will have. You said you will have a room that is it's too even small for blessings to even. The blessing will be too much for you in Malachi. So you must understand these things and stick with it. Why will we see this kind of? The devil don't even want us to have this. The promises in that Malachi 3, they are too much. How can we read those promises and say, I don't want? It's not ordinary. You have to want those blessings. You have to want what is written there. All those things that is written there, they are too heavy for us to throw it away. Then he said, I will rebuke the devourer. The devourer is a waster. They look like legal or normal happenings, but no, God can actually waive them for you. It's not that God is setting them to come to you, but God can actually take it away. So let's be intentional about our tithing. Let's be intentional about our life as Christians. Let's be intentional about the fact that we are light. And as light, compromising should not be the order of the day. Then you shall be a delightsome land. All nations shall call you blessed. When you see a blessed person, you say of a truth, you are blessed. You are blessed. So God is actually going to bless everyone that have come into this life class this evening. God Almighty will send his he will send you, like, he will send you help. He will send you strength to be able to withhold things. Because I remember when I was tithing so much consistently, some people knows me and they will say, oh, they will start, people shall want to say something to make sure. They shall want to say, and I don't even give time. I don't want to hear. I don't want to hear. I started tithing at 19 and I'm 42. So what are you saying? Please leave me alone. And I know how my life has changed. I know where I'm coming from. So I have my story to share. I have my evidence to give. So let's try it. And once you start tithing, please don't tithe 1 2 months and say, oh God, take take your mind off it. And one important thing that tithe does for us is it helps us curb greed. It helps us curb greed. And the truth is, if you cannot give God, how do you expect? There's a Bible verse that say you have to be faithful in the little self. You have to be faithful. So paying your tithe is also a way of God measuring your faithfulness. Are you faithful with what you have? Are you giving back with what you have? But now God has given you 100,000. You are so you feel God is too much to take 10K. Then how do you not get 1 million? Then God gave you 1 million. You feel, oh, 100K is too much for God. Then how do you expect 10 million? Then God gave you 10 million. You're saying, how can I pay a church 1 million? Then you are not ready. I'm not talking about, because I've said it before. I said there are two sources to make money. We have the kingdom way and we have the Babylon way. I'm not talking about people making money from negative sources. I'm not talking about them. I'm talking about legitimate money. And I want you to take it out of your mind that you can make money legitimately and you can be fine doing business legitimately. So at this point, I have to go. If I have any question, I will just read through and answer. I think I've been able to explain how to tithe so that you don't go bankrupt. I've been able to explain it to you guys. And if I see negative comments, I'm going to just jump your comments, because the purpose of this class is not to tell you to tithe, is to just explain what I need to explain. I don't have time for negative people in my comment section. I don't have time for that too. So okay, that's a good comment. If you have questions, you can drop it and I will take it. That's all. So kind example, is it wrong to say my tithe is for? Okay, can I pay my tithe in kind? Example, is it wrong to is it wrong if I say my tithe is for February? My tithe for February, I will be buying microphone for. No, it's wrong. Pay your tithe. Pay your tithe. There's no need. So then you can't use your tithe to buy anything. The Bible says we should pay. Pay it. So if you have pledged microphone, it's a total ball game. That means you want to give extra. But we must understand that, just like saying, oh, the Nigerian law, maybe they want you to pay your tax. And you're not saying because you have paid a levy in your area, you are not going to pay. I remember the first time God took me up to start teaching, and God said, Nancy, go and teach my people how I took you from nothing to something. I was like, how will I teach people at that time? So I stand up and the Holy Spirit told me that you have to teach tithing. The first place I went to speak, I talked about tithing. And when I sat down, he was saying, number one thing I want you to clarify is that, can you take your house to go and give it to your neighbor's landlord and think you have paid? Can you take your house rent to give it to your neighbor's landlord and think you have paid? And I said no. So God told me that, okay, if my landlord is Mrs. A, and I'm supposed to pay my landlord 1 million naira for my rent, and I went ahead to go to my mom and give my mom the 1 million. With the landlord said I have paid my tithes. Well, with the landlord said I've paid my rent, and that's how God explained it to me. And I said, wow, this is so eye-opening. I said, wow. So because I've been there in the past where people come to church, maybe they go to other churches, so they now make pledge in other churches. They now remember that my tithe is 200. Well, I will use my tithe to pay it. No, it's wrong. It's not. Don't use your tithe to buy microphone. No. If you want, if you and nobody, you should get to a stage where you are doing things right and you are not giving anybody things based on pressure or anything. If they bring pressure, you manage it well. I pay my tithe consistently, and if they decide to say, oh, come and sow. If I know I don't have it, I'll be looking. The one that is important to me is that one that God has said that pay your 10%. I'll pay it first. It's not compulsory. I will be consistent with my 10% rather than now pledging for I will pay church rent and I will now go and use my no. Don't do that. It's not good. You can't use Paul to you can't use it's not okay. And I think I've been able to explain that. So when I traveled to a far distance for sometimes I do send my tithe back to my home church or pay it where I worship. Sorry, please. When you travel, your church is your church. Send your tithe to your church. Don't send it there. You can pay offering in that church where you are attending, but the tithe still go back to your church. Thank you so much. Then the next one, Adamu. Good evening, ma. Thank you for this teaching. What advice can you give to help one become consistent in tithing? Okay, good. I have a book. I have a particular book. It's an e-book. I call it the 5 wallet system. So you can have a system in place where immediately money comes into your hand, take out, move out the 10% first before you start touching it. That's immediately it comes because why? Assuming you're a salary earner, you can do there's you can have a standing order. You can have a standing order of that amount to say immediately money comes into my account every month, just take out 300. That means you know your salary is 3 million. But now if you are a business owner, you need to check some stuff before you know. So immediately you calculate, let it just be part of it. Has become part of me. Even my team, they know once we declare profit, I'm saying move this one to here. Is a standard. My accountant will move it out to for me. Not that he will pay it, but it will be in his book, in the book, that oh, on the software they have moved it to the name, so it's already on that name. It's no longer my money. So when I have time, I can transfer it to the right source. So one thing you can do, if you are a salary earner, you can have a standing order. If you have an idea that oh, my income is standard this amount, you can have a standing order once the money come in. And you can also ask your bank that. But the thing is, you have not done your book, so you might not know the exact amount. The only people that can do standing order are people working, not us. For business, you have to. So for me, I have like a system where I've drawn out how to calculate profit, how to check everything. And the person that does it, when it's done with the total net profit, she also does the 10%, and she does my CRS. I also do CRS. That CRS goes to less privileged and other people. I do my tithe first, then the CRS. I move the two to where I'm supposed to move it to. The CRS, I use it for. I have people that I'm called to. There are people that me I am called to. So somebody might be saying, I have this issue, I might not attend to you. The people that I'm called to are entrepreneurs and widows. So my CRS every month is also 10% of my business. I set it aside. And whenever I need to do stuff for them, I do it from there. So that's how you can put system into it. Then let me see another question. Good evening, ma. Thank you for teaching. What do you advise okay, question. Then if you are paying a loan with tithe, be part payment of the loan. I need to read it well. If you are paying a loan, will the tithe be okay, will the tithe be after payment of the loan? No, sorry. If you are paying loan, your corporate social is CSR, sorry, corporate social responsibility. So if you are paying loan, you cannot deduct your loan before your tithe. No. The reason is that you are going to take your loan repayment from your profit. You are taking your loan repayment from your profit, but you can deduct your interest rate before your tithe, because interest rate is actually an expense in your business. So you need somebody to help you do your books well, and we can help you if you actually want to do it. So get it. The loan itself, no. So for instance, let me quickly run what we use as an example today, and I will just see how I can infuse loan. So for instance, let's use the case study B. The case study B where the lady has turnover of 10 million naira. Oh, can you guys see it? This is my first time on YouTube. So the lady have turnover of 10 million naira. That means it can either be turnover, it can be sales, it can be income. Whichever business you do, pick the one that works for you. Then the second part is cost of production or cost of purchase, 5 million. We subtract it. Then we have subtotal of 5 million naira. Now, opening cost slash administrative cost is 1.5. We subtract, we have 3.5 left. Now, if you have interest rates, debit interest, if you have debit interest of maybe 500, you can subtract it, then you are going to have 3 million left. So with 3 million left now, you will now pay your tithe of 300,000. Then if you now pay your tithe of 300,000 with the 3 million that is left, maybe your repayment is supposed to be 1 million every month, you now pay for from there. Please don't subtract your loan from there. I've said it. If you don't pay tithe, it will be you and God. And God has said, you rob me in tithe and offering. It will be you and God. So you don't remove your loan. No. You can remove your debit interest. That means the interest they charge you on the loan. Then the remaining one, you can pay your loan, and like that and like that. I hope it is clear. The lady that is asking that question on loan, I hope it is clear. Let me see, what is the next question? Send my tithe back. Yes, send your tithe back home, please, to your church, except you are changing church. So I used to attend a church before, and I remember when I left the church, I was paying tithe consistently. Before I left, I moved to another church, and before I moved to my church that I attended now, I was still in search for church. But during the period I was in search for church, I didn't really have any church, so I was still paying my tithe to a particular church. I was just paying. So when I now moved to my church, I stopped paying there and I started paying to my church. So yeah, paying loan. Okay. Christian, okay. Can one pay tithe in cash or through transfer? Anyone is okay, whether it's cash, whether it's transfer, as far as it's money and it's complete and it's calculated well, it is fine. I thought that tithe has to be paid in cash so that the pastor will pray on it. No, your pastor can still pray on it if you transfer. So when they say offering time, whatever, we are going cashless now. That does not mean we should not pay tithe. So you transfer and you pray. Even before your pastor pray for it yourself. Carry Malachi 8. Malachi 8, read it very well. Pray and tell God, Father Lord, I'm obeying your word. I'm obeying what you have said. All the promises on this, let it. Okay, the YouTube channel is Nancy Nadi. That's where we'll drop the replay for those of us just joining. So you can try and watch it there. So you can do that. And I tell you, you will be peaceful. I tell people, okay, I'm talking from experience. Makeover City, long time. So let me see if I can take any questions from Instagram. So that's the last question on YouTube. So for everyone on YouTube today, you are my first timer. Today is my first live on YouTube. Thank you so much for joining, and please ensure you subscribe, ensure you share this video with other people, ensure you share and share. Let's spread the good news. We need more Christians or more godly rich people so that we can have a lot of people our kids can emulate, so that we can have a lot of people showing the right thing. We don't want all this negative money. No, now somebody has money. Okay, you go to hey God, go to clubs and see how much people are spending on negative things. You see bill of 10 million on nonsense, and people will be complaining that if you pay tithe of this, people are complaining. You see bill of 10 million, 2 million, 3 million being wasted for nothing. Please, let's do the right thing, because if some of us asking questions today, we are the one that have that resources. The resources is actually kingdom purpose, but yet you will enjoy, you will be fine, and you'll be good. The money is not for taking alcohol and all. No, no, that's not the essence. So let's see, as if you are in my house when my husband and I were discussing this last week. I'm telling you, people are wasting money seriously. Go to clubs and see 10 million, 4 million, 30 million. Somebody paid 60 million in the club. That cannot be godly money. You can't if you are making godly and legitimate money, you can't spend it like that. It is not a joke. You cannot try it. So my prayer is that all of us listening today, in the next 12 months, we will become giants in the marketplace. We'll become giants. We'll become giants in our field of endeavor. We'll become giants in our life, in our business, in the business that we'll find ourselves. And thank you so much, everybody, for coming in live. God bless you. God bless you. So I have to go right now. Take care, take care, take care. Until I come your way next time. If I have another topic that I feel, oh, I was thinking, let me do this live and just share. So, and also I said, if you actually, how do one pay tithe on a printing job? We've talked about it. Go and watch the replay. Go and watch the replay on YouTube. And the YouTube page is Nancy Nadi, at Nancy Nadi. Go and watch the replay. So what we need to do is, as Christians, we want to take over the city, because that is we are the owners of those city. We are light, and the Bible said we are the salt of the earth. So let's strive to do better for yourself. And I pray that God Almighty bless you. Thank you. Grace Omotosho, thank you. Nike Foodies, thank you. True, okay. Do you pay tithe before paying your workers? No. Go and watch the replay, sir. You have to pay people before you pay tithe. Replay is on YouTube. And when you get to YouTube, please subscribe to my channel so that you can get more. And if you get anybody arguing tithe stuff, just share this link to them. Let them learn. Drop their questions. Sometimes I will come and check the questions too. Thank you so much. Just go to the YouTube and watch, and you'll see what I've explained. God bless you all. Have a wonderful evening. Bye.